Welcome to class, students. Today, we'll be looking at a very vital topic titled Crisis Response Protocol. Crisis response protocols constitute a structured framework of systematic procedures and coordinated action designed to effectively address, manage, and minimize the adverse effects of emergency situations. These comprehensive protocols serve as the organizational backbone for crisis management, ensuring swift response capabilities while protecting personnel assets, and operational continuity when confronted with unforeseen disruptive events. The primary objective of these protocols encompass damage limitation, personal safety assurance, stakeholder protection, and the systematic restoration of normal business operations following crisis events. These frameworks provide organizations with predetermined response pathways that enable rapid decision-making and coordinated action during high-stress emergency situations. Elements of crisis response framework we have threat, threat and vulnerability analysis, strategic communication framework, emergency evacuation system, organizational structure and authority, response activation mechanisms, preparedness and competency development, post-incident analysis, and threat and vulnerability analysis. The foundation of effective crisis management lies in a comprehensive threat identification and organizational vulnerability assessment. This process involves systematic evaluation of potential hazard, analysis of organizational weaknesses, and determination of impact capabilities. Organizations must conduct thorough environmental scanning to identify both internal and external risk factors that could trigger crisis situations. Strategic communication framework. Effective crisis communication requires predetermined channels, designated communication personnel, and pre-approved messaging strategies. This framework establishes clear information flow pathways between internal teams and external stakeholders, including media representatives, regulatory bodies, customers, and community members. The communication strategy must address both immediate response needs and long-term reputation management considerations. Emergency evacuation system. Comprehensive evacuation planning involves detailed mapping of escape routes, identification of safe assembly location, and establishment of personal accountability system. These procedures must account for various scenarios, accessibility requirements, and potential route obstructions. Regular testing and updates ensure evacuation systems remain effective and compliant with safety regulations. Organizational structure and authority. Crisis management requires clearly defined hierarchical structure, specific role assignment, and unambiguous decision-making authority. This involves establishing chain of command protocols, backup leadership assignments, and interdepartmental coordination mechanisms. Clear accountability structures prevent confusion and ensure rapid response capabilities during crisis events. Response activation mechanism. Organization must establish specific criteria and procedures for initiating crisis response activity. This includes defining trigger events, escalation thresholds, and notification protocols. Activation mechanisms ensure appropriate response levels are deployed based on crisis severity and organizational impact assessment. Preparedness and competency development. Ongoing training programs and simulation exercises ensure personal main personal maintain crisis response competence. Okay, ongoing training program and stimulation exercise ensure personnel maintain crisis response competencies. Regular drill tests protocol effectiveness, identify improvement opportunities, and maintain organizational readiness. Training programs must address both technical skills and stress management techniques to optimize performance during the actual crisis event. Post-incident analysis and improvement. Systematic post-crisis evaluation process enable organizations to assess response effectiveness, identify lessons learned, and implement protocol improvements. This continuous involvement approach ensures crisis response capabilities evolve with organizational changes and emerging threats. Documentation of lessons learned contribute to organizational knowledge and future preparedness efforts. Categories of crisis events require management. One, human-caused accidents, environmental and natural catastrophes, technological and cyber threats. Human-caused accidents. Industrial accidents resulting from human error represent significant organizational threats with potential for substantial casualty and property damage. These incidents commonly occur in high-risk industries such as manufacturing, construction, mining and chemical processing. Examples include workplace fires, equipment failures due to operator error, and safety protocol violation leading to injury or environmental damage. Environmental and natural catastrophes. Naturally occurring disasters present unique challenges as they typically occur without warning and exceed organizational control capability. These events include seismic activity, severe weather phenomena such as hurricanes and tornadoes, flooding events and other geological or meteorological disasters. Organizations must develop response strategies that account for infrastructure damage, supply chain disruption and ex the recovery period. Technological and cyber threats. Modern organizational dependence on technology systems create vulnerability to both accidental system failures and international cyber attacks. Technology related crises encompass hardware malfunctions, software failures, data breaches, ransomware attacks and other forms of cybercrime. These incidents can result in operational disruption, financial losses and significant reputational damage. Understanding crisis management plans, foundation and purpose. A crisis management plan represents a vital strategic document that establishes systematic approaches of organizational response during emergency situations. This comprehensive framework defines accountability structures, operational procedures and decision-making hierarchies to ensure coordinated responses when facing unexpected disruptions. The fundamental purpose centers on minimizing organizational damage while facilitating rapid restoration and standard business operation through the predetermined response mechanism. These strategic documents function as living resources that require continuous refinement and adaptation to evolving organizational needs and emerging threats. Rather than static procedures, effective crisis management plans serve as dynamic framework that teams can reference, modify and enhance based on changing circumstances and lessons learned from previous. Components of crisis management planning. We have strategic risk evaluation and threat assessment, integrated communication architecture, operational continuity and recovery strategies, performance evaluation and capability development, unified communication implementation strategy, strategic integration and organizational alignment. Strategic risk evaluation and threat management. A comprehensive risk evaluation forms the cornerstone of effective crisis management planning, requiring systematic identification of stakeholders, thorough analysis of potential threats and assessment of organizational vulnerabilities. This foundational process enables organizations to understand their risk exposure across multiple dimensions and develop appropriate mitigation strategies. Integrated communication architecture. Effective crisis communication requires sophisticated planning that addresses multiple stakeholder groups through coordinated messaging strategies and established communication channels. A robust communication architecture encompasses internal team coordination, external stakeholder engagement, and public relations management to ensure consistent, transparent, and timely information dissemination. The communication framework must address diverse audience needs, including employees, customers, business partners, regulatory body, media representatives, and community stakeholders. This involves developing tailored messaging approaches, establishing spokesman protocols, and creating communication escalation procedures that maintain message consistency while addressing specific stakeholder concerns and information requirements. Operational continuity and recovery strategies. Continuity planning establishes specific operational procedure for maintaining business continuity and facilitating rapid recovery following crisis events. This comprehensive approach involves identifying critical business functions, developing backup operational procedures, and establishing alternative resource arrangement to minimize disruption impact. Performance evaluation and capability development. Continuous improvement processes through regular auditing and comprehensive training programs ensure crisis management plans remain effective, current effective and aligned with organizational capabilities. This ongoing development approach involves systematic plan reviews, capability assessment and performance enhancement initiatives. Unified communication implementation strategy. Beyond the core planning element, organization must establish consis ten t communication strategy for disseminating crisis management information and maintaining organizational awareness. This involves selecting appropriate communication channels, developing information distribution protocols, and ensuring stakeholder accessibility to relevant crisis management resources. Strategic integration and organization alignment. Effective crisis management planning require integration with broader organizational strategic planning, risk management frameworks and business continuity initiatives. This holistic approach ensures crisis response capability align with organizational objectives, resource constraint and operational realities while supporting long-term resilience and competitive position. Crisis management best practice. One of the 7 vital steps. One, establishing a multidisciplinary crisis leadership coalition, comprehensive organizational risk profiling and vulnerability analysis, strategic crisis response blueprint development, multi-channel communication infrastructure establishment, continuous preparedness through training and stimulation programs, dynamic monitoring and continuous improvement system, then technology enhanced workflow integration and process optimization. Thank you for